a couple who have 10 sons and 6 daughters. Liette Ryback, of Florida, is the mother of 10 daughters and 6 sons ranging in age from 2 years old to 21 years old. They all live with Liette and her husband, David Ryback, 49, who owns a real estate company. Liette gave birth to her first daughter, Daly Kay, at the age of 21. The daughter is now the same age, and since then the family has had 12 biological children and 4 adopted children. The woman gave birth to her youngest child at the age of 42. The mother of many children herself grew up in a family where the child was only her no brothers or sisters. As Liette admits, she spent 10 years of her life being pregnant, gaining and losing a total of 272 pounds of baby weight, and going through labor and delivery 12 times without a single C-section. The woman is very active with her children, personally takes them to sports activities, finds time to work in a charitable foundation, write books, and even manages to have lunch with friends sometimes. All this is thanks to the strict schedule she has set for herself and steadfastly adheres to. Liette admits that at a young age, the thought of 16 children would have seemed crazy to her, but now she is convinced that it is the best job in the world. She says those who first met the family were shocked by the number of children and wondered how they could manage them all. The largest family in Ukraine. The largest family in Ukraine, which consists of 346 relatives, lives in the urban-type settlement of Dobroslav in Odessa region. The head of the family is 87-year-old Pavel Semenyuk, who has 13 children, 127 grandchildren, 203 great-grandchildren and 3 great-great-grandchildren. On July 8 last year, the largest family was registered in the National Register of Records of Ukraine. Project manager Lana Vetrova said that the Semenyuk family could claim the world record, because before that the largest family in the world was the family of Indian Zion Chan, which has 192 members. However, Zion had 39 wives, while Pavel Semenyuk had only 1 wife in his entire life. I know all my children. Of the 13, 2 are dead. I know and remember all my grandchildren, especially the older ones. But the younger ones, not so much. And great-grandchildren not very much except for those who live closer, and come to see me every day, says Semenyuk Sr. A woman who became a surrogate mother at age 56. The story of J.C. Dallenberg from the USA can be called a real maternal feat without exaggeration. After learning that her adult daughter could not have children, 56-year-old J.C. decided to become a surrogate mother for her. And by chance, she carried and gave birth to not 1, but 3 children, her own granddaughters. This story started back in 2007 when one of JC's daughters, and she has 4 of them, by the way, Kim, married a young man named Joe Cosino. All of Kim's attempts to get pregnant naturally were unsuccessful. There was only one way left: surrogacy, and Kim and Joe searched for a woman who could help them with this. And then the real miracle happened. Having learned about the problems of her daughter and son-in-law, J.C. Dallenberg volunteered to help them and offered as a surrogate mother herself. After numerous scans, examinations, tests, doctors finally recognized that J.C. Dallenberg was fully ready for motherhood. Kim's egg was fertilized with Joe's sperm and the resulting embryo was placed in J.C.'s uterus. The first ultrasound, which was made pregnant woman, showed that one of the embryos successfully divided into 2 parts. And now there are not 2, but 3 children in J.C.'s belly. The pregnancy was successful, and on October 11, 2008, 3 adorable little girls were born. Pregnancy of 12 months duration. Pregnant resident of Los Angeles Bella Hunter passed with a belly term of almost 12 months. The case occurred back in 1945, people remember it even today. The doctors did not want to believe Bella at first. Fortunately, the baby did come into the world. It was a girl, and perfectly healthy. Her mother named her Penny Diana. Often babies born late suffer from chronic diseases. In the case of Penny, everything went well. Her weight was normal, 3 kilograms 100 grams. Specialists then made a verdict: the late birth of the little man was due to slow development. He did not receive a sufficient amount of useful substances, respectively, so he was in no hurry to come into the world. The doctors could not hear the heartbeat for a long period of time. According to the terms, it should have been heard in the summer. It appeared only in the fall, which proves a very slow pace of development. The story of the American woman became popular, but there were those who did not believe in what happened, accusing the woman of lying. Some people assumed that Bella was pregnant, but she had a miscarriage at the age of 3 months, after which she became pregnant again. The heaviest infant. The heaviest baby was just short of 10 kilograms. His mother, Anna Bates, born in 1846, was 241 centimeters tall, and the boy she gave birth to in January 1879 was 71.12 centimeters tall. He never got a name. Everyone called him that baby, Babe. Sadly, the boy died 11 hours later. When Anna's water broke, she lost about 16 liters of fluid. Martin Van Boren Bates, the baby's father, wrote, "He was 71 centimeters long, weighed 9.98 kilograms and was perfect in every way. At birth he looked like a normal 6-month-old baby." Martin himself was not small, height 236 centimeters, only a little shorter than his wife. They both worked in a circus troupe, married after 2 years of relationship. The couple later had 13 children, although some of them died shortly after birth. An African woman gave birth to 10 babies at a time. Goshame Tamara Sithole, a 37-year-old from South Africa's Gauteng province, carried and gave birth to 10 children at once, 7 boys and 3 girls. During her pregnancy, ultrasounds showed only 8 babies in her uterus. The children were born at 29 weeks of pregnancy by cesarean section. No health problems have been reported for the newborns or the mother. This pregnancy is not Sithole's first. She is already raising 6-year-old twins. After giving birth to 10 children at once, the African woman became a Guinness World Record holder. But an official investigation has revealed that the claim that Goshame gave birth to 10 children earlier this month is untrue. The Gauteng provincial government says no hospital in the province has ever recorded the birth of 10 children. Later, after giving birth, the woman stopped contacting her husband Tibogo Sotetsi and the rest of her family and concealed the whereabouts of the newborns. She was later taken to a psychiatric hospital. A woman gave birth at an altitude of 10 kilometers. Kiev-based otolaryngologist Alyona Zelenina delivered a baby on an airplane during a flight to Bangkok. The woman said that she and her company were on an intermediate flight to Vietnam. On the Doha-Bangkok flight, one of the passengers suddenly went into labor. The pilot said over the loudspeaker that a doctor was needed, and 50-year-old Alyona rushed to help. She did not have her medical license with her, so she had to ask her son to send her photo over the internet. The doctor admitted that everything happened, like in the movies, and she did not expect that she would be able to give birth. Elena said that for some reason she was absolutely calm, although she is not an obstetrician or gynecologist, and she has never delivered a baby. She considers the successful appearance of the boy to be the merit of her teachers in her student days. The dean of her medical university was the head of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, so these subjects were elevated to a cult. The woman didn't even realize she was pregnant. The story, worthy to be the basis of the movie, took place on board a plane flying from Salt Lake City to Honolulu. One of the passenger seats was occupied by an American woman, Lavinia Munga, who did not even suspect that she was in the late stages of pregnancy. Unexpectedly for herself and her relatives who were flying with her, she went into labor. Lavinia's labor lasted only 3 hours, although it often takes about a day. By pure coincidence, a whole medical team was on the same flight: Dr. Dale Glenn, a family medicine physician, and nurses from the intensive care unit. There were, of course, no special instruments on board. But the medics didn't hesitate. They used shoelaces to cut and tie the umbilical cord. An Apple Watch came in handy to measure the newborn's heart rate during the 3 hours it took the pilots to land the aircraft. Despite the fact that the baby was born 3 months premature, his condition is not a cause for concern. The baby, who was born over the ocean, was greeted with applause. After the plane landed in Honolulu, the woman in labor and the baby were hospitalized. Despite such an unexpected turn, Lavi is overjoyed with the birth of her son. Well, as I promised, the video was interesting. So, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.